don't know to this day why they delayed closing so long. But I think their lender finally got on their butt last week, and
Okay.
so
All right.
they're closing it with a mobile notary today, and my builder will close tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have any thoughts as far as what's working in their business?
I think for me, it's been just communication, like reaching out to a lot of people.
Okay.
Follow up.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I was, yeah. Like that's one thing that I like. I know, Mugs and like said, we don't know what's going on, but I feel like if you look at the numbers, those like listings having the inventory to sell, right? Like Carol, you made the comment of stuff carrying over from December to January, and then also like for me personally, it's all been in the follow up, like every single bit of it. Like I never quit talking to the people from November to December, and like even before that, and like it just seems to finally now hit, like is what it seems like just now, like the follow-up, that communication like Danny was talking about, because I feel like it was, you can call it like pent up demand, to Mug's comment as far as like in December things were low on the transaction side, but I think the ones that like either had the inventory to sell to where people were, when they were ready to make a move, felt confident to make a move, they made a move. Or two, you kept communicating with those people through the entire time, and finally when things hit, it hit hard. So just curious what everybody, that was my thought, but I wanted to see whatever, if anyone else figured things out. Abby, any thoughts, more thoughts on that? No. Okay. All right, fair enough, fair enough. All right, well, I think everybody's here is going to be here this Monday morning huddle. I kind of wanted to talk about, February is like, you can call it like the month of love, you know? You've got, like all you got Valentine's, you got all the fun stuff. So that's kind of going to be the trend. We're going to start trends, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to talk about choosing to respond, not choosing to react, and always choose kindness. That's kind of the topic for this morning. And I guess I don't know about you guys, but I say it to clients a lot, is kind of a joke. The toughest part of my job is other agents, right? Like other agents not doing what they're say they're going to do, not following up, or not giving me feedback, not answering their phone, not answering their text messages. Like it's very, very frustrating for me personally, right? And this morning, I woke up to some feedback, like just really, really nasty feedback on one of my listings, like just uncalled for, you know. And at the bottom, it was like, finally, how on Century Lock at the bottom they can put their comments or what have you. The agent made a comment, like, will this property even go FHA? Will the roof even go FHA? And all these different things. And excuse me, I'm still getting over past sickness. But anyway, like my immediate reaction to that was, really pissed off, wanted to just type up a lovely little email in return. But I took a moment and I was like, well, like how in the world, like how would I want, maybe she's just having an off day or whatever it is. And I just typed up a decent email. I will say probably didn't do the best I could, but like, hey, appreciate the feedback, what have you. As far as your questions, here are the answers. And by the way, that's why I marked cash or conventional only in the MLS. So we don't, agents didn't bring their FHA buyers in or what have you. But anyway, that's just kind of, I wanted to tell that story as an example, as far as like all the time, somebody, something out there just kind of gets us fired up. And we all, like, we tend to react in those moments, right? We react with however it makes us feel. And for me personally, like with agents and clients and things like that, sometimes I'm guilty in the aspect of getting even, right? Getting even instead of taking a moment, not reacting, and choosing to respond through that process. For me, it's kind of like, what makes me think about that is like, we tend to assume the worst, right? We tend to assume the worst in situations. We tend to assume someone meant it personally. We tend to, we tend to do those things, and maybe it's just me, but wouldn't it be easier if we assumed the best, right? Wouldn't it be easier if we assumed the good, assumed that maybe someone's just having a bad day, assume that someone, is just struggling with something. Maybe their clients are crazy and they couldn't, maybe that agent this morning, that left me the feedback, maybe she couldn't talk her clients out of not seeing the house or whatever it is. And, but I feel like that the more we choose kindness, the easier things just tend to be. The more we give benefit of the doubt, the more we deal with compassion and grace and all of those things, the easier things tend to work out. And also for me, I think it's even and more so, it's not just with clients and outside things, but I think for me, it's also kind of, I view it as like how I treat myself, right? Like if I make a mistake, if I tend to be really, really hard on myself. And there was a great quote I read. It's hard to be happy when someone is always mean to you, So from a personal standpoint, if we want things to go well in a transaction, if we want to be happy, maybe we should not be so reactive to things. Maybe we should choose to respond with kindness, choose with love, choose compassion, choose grace, and choose all of those wonderful things versus the reaction side of it. I think time and time again, we'd be surprised how little effort it takes to really change somebody's day, how little encouragement it takes to really get somebody back into gear, how a simple text or a phone call or what have you of, hey, just checking in, or, choosing to kind of de-escalate a situation instead of get even or escalate a situation, what a difference that can make. And I got, is anybody familiar with Mark Manson, the author? He's read a couple of books, and one of the things, like he does weekly emails, and they're very, very short. I'll forward it to anybody that wants it, but I printed this out this morning. It's every Monday, and it kind of went along with what I was planning on talking about as far as choose to respond, not to react, and always choose kindness. But it said 3 things for you to think about. If you wish to be loved, then love. If you wish to be appreciated, then appreciate. If you wish to be respected, then respect. Do you expect to receive things you don't freely give? And why is that? If we expect other agents to be nice and work with us and all those simple things, do we constantly give that? Right? If we expect kindness, if we expect, decency or whatever it is, do we always give that freely? And to me, it was just, it would kind of hit home as far as what the point I was trying to get to. I felt like I rambled a little bit this morning, maybe too much coffee. But it really kind of made me think it's if we really want those things, we got to be the one to give them. Right. That's really what it amounts to, is if we have to put it, it's the law of attraction. It's the give to gain or whatever it is. So, and one thing that, he always ends up kind of with an action item, but it's give to others what you're hoping to receive yourself. It can be anything: love, appreciation, respect, trust, a lifetime supply of burritos, and let me know what you receive in return. It might surprise you. So as we're going through this month, and things are bound to happen, transactions are bound to get delayed. Clients are bound to buy cars before closing. Sellers are bound to do dumb things. Instead of reacting, choose to respond. And always choose it with kindness. So that's what I've got this morning. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Anybody, did it make you think of anything? No thoughts at all?
Funny enough, the one thing that I thought of is I've always said I never want to be one of those agents that I gripe about, that I say, the transaction would have been so much better. And I do make a concerted effort to those that do that type of behavior. I definitely praise them for how wonderful of an agent they are.
No. Kim, were you going to say something?
I was, and then I thought better of it. But
Well,
no, I do. It's a good message because
Yeah.
I have a closing this week.
Well, hold on. We've got a closing. So, like, if you're talking bad about me,
Yeah, actually, yes, same day, but not you. But yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting on, I'm waiting on a document. It's just been back and forth with she and I, and I need that reminder because I need Jesus to deal with her. And you're right, and that's what I've always been saying is my biggest pet peeve about this business is other agents. So you're right. But I've also preached to my kids, forever. If you want a friend, you gotta be a friend. So all this same lines.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I haven't heard that, but but I really, really like that. So if you want a friend, be a friend. If you want kindness, give kindness. If you want, I dig it. I dig it. So,
Lyle, I'm gonna reach out to all y'all. I'm gonna speak next Thursday at the new member orientation on RPAC, of course, and then I've also got tasked with doing realtor etiquette. So I'm going to go over realtor etiquette with new agents. You just made a point a while ago. Why don't you read? It doesn't go FHA. Don't bring an FHA client.
yeah.
There's a lot of things. So if y'all have any little tips or suggestions, shoot them to me. I'm gonna put together a little realtor. It'll be brief, but a realtor etiquette session with the new members next Thursday. So if y'all have any
I'm
thoughts?
glad they're adding that, and I'm glad you're doing it. You'll do a good job.
Yeah.
Well, I've got the new one I've got under contract. It's one of my investors buying, and the agent is she's brand new, and she's her first listing, and I never got word back on the offer we had. It took forever and ever and ever, and I finally got the paperwork back. And Carol will know who I'm talking about, I think, but it's a company we used to work with, and it's the broker that's causing all the problems. And so I had a real nice conversation with her, and I said, look, I don't mind if you have questions, I'll be glad to help you. I said, listen, the broker should not have done this, that you took too long. Cause she said, I don't know, it took so long, whatever. And she was like, thank you for telling me that, thank you for helping me. Sometimes you don't talk down to them, but if you got some of these new ones, sometimes they really would like the advice. If you do it in a correct way, but it absolutely was the broker that was causing all the issues. So, but yeah, sometimes they just, sometimes they do want to have the information. Well,
And
you don't do it in a.
I will say it is incumbent upon us as professionals to help those that are new. If they don't know, we're supposed to teach them, regardless of their attitude or whatever. It's up to us to teach them. And I can't tell you how many times I've had transactions with newer agents that don't know any better. And at the end of the transaction, they would say, "Thank you so much for helping me." I won't ever forget my
Yes.
very first transaction ever. Um, with an agent, and he knew I was brand new. He could have taken advantage of me. I made a mistake on the contract. He helped me correct that, and I praised him for years and years and years. He's retired now and long gone, but he made all the difference for me. Understanding, I came into this business thinking that it was a dog eat dog world, and everybody was in competition with each other. And what I found was it's quite the opposite, or most of the time it is. Most of the time you have good cooperation, and people want to get it to the table. We have a few of those rogue agents that always just want to cause trouble, and so that's my 2 cents.
And I think too, like I think everybody on this call has an agent they love doing business with, right? Like everybody, like when you get a contract from me, you're like, oh, this is going to be smooth sailing. This is going to be easy. This is going to be great. I'm looking forward to this transaction. And I think the more that we choose to operate with kindness, with doing what we're supposed to do, the more we become that agent, which only benefits us. Because let me tell you, during the COVID times, when it came to like the multiple offers, I know a couple I won just because people knew that my buyers were prepped from way, way before, right? They knew that I was going to respond. They knew that I was going to give them what they needed and not delay anything, and easy to work with. And if I said my buyers aren't going to treat the home inspection like a checklist, they knew they could count on that. right? And they knew if there was an issue that I would bring it up. But, and, you know, and I'm just saying the more we operate from that point and choose to be kind, even when most of the time the other party or whoever is not deserving it. If we choose to give first, the more we position ourselves as that agent that everybody wants to do business with, and that's a winning environment. That's the, you know, that's where you want to be. So, anybody else have any thoughts? Nope. All right.
Abby, congratulations on your upcoming first
Thank you.
issue,
Thank
whatever,
you.
whatever you call it. I saw the little preview video on YouTube. It looks great.
Thank you.
I did too.
Thanks.
We've got a celebrity on the call. Yeah. All right. Reminders this week. Tomorrow is market report here at the Montgomery office, 8:30 to 9:30, of course. We've got ribbon cutting Wednesday at 11. Please, you know, if you can be here, would love for everyone to be here for that. That's for the Montgomery branch ribbon cutting at 11. If you have anyone that you know that you want to invite, please invite them. Love for everybody to come out. Thursday, we've got First Call Realty Serve Day. That is Thursday at 8:30 in Wetumpka. Starting there, then we'll come back to Montgomery. And then also I've got, as a reminder, Thursday, Home Builders have an event at 5 o'clock at Jerry's Juke Joint. That's a new place. I think Muggs, me and you were talking about that.
Yeah.
But yeah. But if
So
you have,
I hadn't been there. It's supposed to be really cool. Jerry Kaiser
yeah,
built it, and they did a little special on him, and he made it just like what you would see in downtown Nashville.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be really cool. And they asked for RSVP. So
Okay.
if you'll just respond back maybe to Kennedy, let them know how many we got coming if you can.
Perfect.
If you don't get any.
Also, on the ribbon cutting on Wednesday, I'll send out a reminder, but we probably need to park on the street on Fitzgerald, right here next to the office. That'll give our guests more parking spaces. So when you come, if you will park on Fitzgerald, doesn't matter if we go all the way down the road. It's only going to be for about an hour. So if you could park over there. I may walk across the street over here to where the massage place is and see if we can borrow a few of their parking places. We just want to make sure our guests will have the best parking. But I'll send y'all out a reminder about that.
Yeah, Fitzgerald, not across the street. We don't want to play Frogger. So
Yeah.
Zelda gets busy. So, but that's all the reminders I have for this week. Everyone should have calendar invites for that. Before we end the call, does anybody have anything they want to add?
Did you come up with a book yet?
Oh yeah, sorry. Thank you, Muggs. Yeah, I did. I didn't get any.
Sorry, guys. I was just,
yeah. Thank you, Muggs. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Rhinoceros Success is book of the month for February. I'm gonna put it in the chat. You know, it's a Scott Alexander and Dave Ramsey put it together. I've read it a couple years ago. I really like it. I'll put it in the FCR news. And for March, I know we ended the book month call on with everyone had like some thoughts. I never got them, but please send me your thoughts for March, like for the books. That way we can get a poll started, get some things in rotation. But this will be February's book, Rhinoceros Success. So I really liked it. It's a short book. It's got pictures too. I don't think it's 100 pages. It's an easy read. We're not doing Harry Potter books or anything like that. So, but yeah, Muggs
We're trying to keep them kind of short and sweet.
Exactly. So yeah. Very, very good.
Atomic Habits is a really good book, but it's long. It's like 350
James Clear.
pages.
Yeah,
So,
love that guy. Yeah, it's just maybe I think we need to work our way up.
I agree.
Muggs ain't
Maybe
got
the
time
Cliff
to
Notes.
listen
Yeah.
to 3 hour, 4 hour, 10-hour audio. We're gonna keep it under 60 minutes, right, Muggs? So.
Okay.
I can't look at pictures on the Audible. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
yeah. Well, they got YouTube clips. I'll send that to you for this one. So, but yeah, that'll be our book. I'll throw the Amazon link up again. But I think that's all the announcements I've got. Does anybody else have anything? Thank you for the reminder, Muggs. It's written down, but I missed it. So, anything else? All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody hopping on. If you guys need anything, please reach out. Always happy to help. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. So,
All right.
Good deal.
Yes.
Bye.
bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.